Hello, welcome to Vincent Tan and Vivian Chen's economic game titled Hunger Bids. Today we are going to show you the purpose of the game and how the game was created. Then we are going to show you the rules of the game and how the game is played. After that, we are going to show some real-world applications of the game. And we are also going to show how the game demonstrates and analyzes the economic issue at hand. Furthermore, we will show what economists can learn from observing players that play the game. Finally, we are going to offer some self-criticisms of the game. When brainstorming ideas about the game, we are often led back to the prisoner's dilemma, where the most rational choice may not always be the best choice. We tried to design a game with a similar concept, so we designed a game where there is no most rational choice or decision. We tried to create a game where all the choices were equally irrational. This led us to follow several criteria that we followed, and these criteria are that the game must be completely original, must be able to find out how humans behave when there is no most rational decision, which neoclassical economics claims there is. And we wanted to add as much psychological pressure as possible on the participants in order to force irrational decision making. The rules of this game are fairly simple. People will bid money. People must bid higher than what was last bid, and the bidding ends when the timer goes off. The person with the highest bid will die, while the person with the second highest bid will be able to keep his or her money. The duration of the timer is randomized, and the last person alive with the most money will be the winner and keep the money, but everybody else will die. If there's a tie with the person with the most money, then both or all of them will die. So why don't we go through a sample run of the game. So let's just say, hypothetically, there are persons A, B, and C. Person A starts off the bid with $10, and then person B increases the bid up to $20, and then suddenly the timer goes off. So therefore, person A is left with $10 in his bank, and person B dies as he is the most recent person to bid. Let's also say that no other person wishes to continue the bidding process. In that case, person A is declared the winner and person C dies because person C has $0 compared to person A who has $10. We will now demonstrate how this economic phenomenon applies in the real world. When buying or selling a stock on the stock market, one can never know if the price of that stock will rise or fall in the future for certain. Although by employing strategies such as trend following or using algorithms, one can make a more educated guess of how a stock will change over some time. Despite that there is strategy in a sense that one can increase the probability that they will profit off the market, there is still no guarantee of how the market may behave. The value of a stock may not change. It can change just a little, or it can face incredible optimism or euphoria, or the entire market can just crash in a single day, just like on Black Monday. Gambling and lotteries also apply similar theories. Much like buying stocks, gambling and lotteries have no best decision. In games such as poker or blackjack, it is possible to psychologically influence the other players, but there is no way of guaranteeing profits every round. In table games, every choice yields unprofitable outcomes over a long term. Yet, the gambling industry is still colossal and is thriving due to the irrational nature of humans. Even if they had perfectly rational logic, it would be circular once they start to gamble. They would ask themselves, Do I pick number 5 or number 17? These trivial questions keep them in a strange loop that keep them gambling. They also ask themselves, do I play again, risking more loss, but potentially getting back what I lose? Only when the person can control themselves, or when some outside source of aid, for example a friend, breaks them from the negative cycle, they will stop their addiction to gambling. We will now analyze the economic issue using logic. Every individual person has one of two options. They can choose to either bid or not to bid. Let's just assume that a person chooses to evaluate the option to bid first. If they choose to bid, then they risk that they will be the last person bidding. Thus, they will die. Therefore, it seems logical to not bid. Then that person will evaluate not bidding. By not bidding, they will guarantee not make any money. Thus, in the long run, if they survive until the end, they will guarantee not be the winner, as the rules state that if there is a tie between first place, then everybody will die. Or the person with the most money, which will guarantee not be them, as they have $0, will survive while everybody else dies. Thus, if they do not bid, their death is also certain. This creates a circular logic that creates the phenomenon that there is no most rational decision. We will now give some examples of what can be learned from conducting this game. Economics can study the nature of human behavior using this game. Under high-stress situations where one can potentially lose their life, how will humans behave and how does it affect decision-making? How do they behave when the rules are changed to have more lenient punishments? Does stress play a role in how humans behave? How does behavior change as the game progresses? How do humans make decisions where logic fails? All these questions can help be answered by conducting this game and observing the behavior of the participants of the game. We will now be offering some self-criticism about the game. Since the killing or any form of instant severe punishment of players in the place that the game will be conducted, Mr. Gardio's microeconomics class is highly inappropriate. The game will not be able to generate the high-stress situation that will be optimal in examining the behavior of humans. In fact, it is not likely that an appropriate punishment that can be conducted legally in class will be able to generate the stressful situation that will bring the game to fruition. If instead a reward was awarded to the winner, and the losers did not lose anything, then there will be no loss for the losers of the game, which will probably lead to a phenomenon where players can spam bids, as they can only gain and they will not lose when the game concludes. Setting up this game outside of the classroom may become an easier task, but it will still be hard. To conduct the game, players will be required to sign legal documents stating that they consent to be punished accordingly to the agreement, and even then the punishment must abide by Canadian law or whatever the local law is where the game is being conducted. Due to the brutal nature of the game, this game may be seen as unethical.